Hey guys, it's Lillian, and today I'm going to talk about Not a Drop to Drink by Mindy McGinnis. So I won this book in a giveaway on Instagram by, I think it's at One Life Is Not Enough. I think I'll put their Instagram down below so you can go check them out. It's a beautiful hardcover book. I love hardcovers, and look at the green. Upside down, yeah. Look at that beautiful green there. That's beautiful gray hardcover. You don't see that very often. So when I originally won the book, I didn't know if I was actually going to read it, but you know, I was playing around with whiteout. As you guys might know what whiteout is if anyone actually uses it. I had whiteout laying in a room, and I wanted to try seeing like if I could white out like profanity and stuff in books to make them clean, or as clean as I can get them. So I did want to show you that the whiteout does work. If you see like that white right there, right, like blocked and there's nothing there. That's called whiteout, and it actually does work. I whiteouted like every bad sentence or bad paragraph or bad word in this book. So it's fairly clean now. I'll explain more about that later. So I tried, and it turns out it does work. So I started off with just reading a little bit and whiteouting the bad words. So then if I ever read the book again, I wouldn't have to deal with it, or my sister could read it without having to deal with bad words, things like that. And then I kind of just got into the plot, because the book I am also currently reading, I was really not getting into the plot, so I thought a dystopian book like this might help me. So this book is about a girl named Kate, who they live in a future world where water has been contaminated, water is scarce. So this girl and her mother live right by a pond, and they spend their day and night trying to stay alive and protecting the pond. They have to protect the pond from other people who are thirsty, and from animals, and from anyone who's going to try to attack them to get the water, and any other supplies that they've collected over the years inside of their house. And Kate has never lived in a world that had plentiful water. The only water they can get is their pond, and she constantly lives in fear of other humans and coyotes and snowless winters and anything that can make them go hungry or thirsty. But her mother ends up dying, and then she is left to live by herself in this house to protect everything. So when I got this book, I had kind of read the reviews about it, and a lot of people have said that they don't like Kate's character change because she's the only human she ever knew is her mother and a neighbor that lives, across the field. And she didn't see him very often. So the only the only human that she actually knew was her mother. So when all the humans start coming around, her instinct is just to kill them all, because they're all after her water, and she doesn't really know friendship, she doesn't know love. She meets a teenage boy, and she kind of gets a thing for him. But she meets a teenage boy, and then it's like all of her character guard goes down. Like, she suddenly just trusts him. She trusts people all of a sudden, and it's like so random because she's been raised. She's like 15, 16 years old, and she's been raised to not trust anybody, and she didn't know anyone but her mother. And now suddenly this boy comes along, and she's like, oh, he's cute, I'm just gonna trust him. It doesn't make any sense to me, because she also starts trusting the neighbor and other people, and it just really doesn't make any sense. But in the end of the book, she goes back to not trusting again anyone, and I'm just so confused at her character change of what happened in there. I know that she started to feel really human feelings, like love, and she started to love people, and then understand that not all people are being bad and mean to steal her water, but she still made such a big character change that I really did not enjoy, and I really felt like that it happened way too easily. Like, I understand it can happen, but I think it happened too quickly in the span of this 300-some page book. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the characters. Now, as I talked about Kate's character change, Kate is a pretty strong female protagonist. I think if it wasn't for her character change, I would like her more, but she isn't all that bad, and I do kind of like her. Then we have Stebbs, the neighbor, and he is an interesting character. And Lucy, I love Lucy. Lucy is a great character, I love her. Eli, I don't know why, I just don't really feel strongly for him. I know, he just seems like an average teenage boy, and honestly, I don't really feel like I like him. And Neva, those people over there. But otherwise, I mean, the characters aren't that bad, but they're not like my favorite characters now. I'm not just like suddenly a big fan of them because of reading this book. They're just kind of normal characters to me that I'm not going to have any attachment to. Now, I really don't know why, but I feel like there's a big similarity to this book and The Hunger Games, and I'm sitting around trying to figure out what makes it so similar, and I haven't really thought it fully out yet, so this might be rambling here. But, I mean, especially the characters are a lot like the Hunger Games. Kate is a lot like Katniss, Eli is a lot like Peeta, Stebbs is a lot like Haymitch, Lucy is a lot like Prim or Rue, whichever one you want to go with there. And I really feel like there's a big similarity there. And the storylines are totally different, but the way the story is written and the happenings of the story and the characters in the story just feel so much like the Hunger Games, except I like the Hunger Games more, but it still feels like it's similar there. If you understand. If you read this book and if you feel the same way, please tell me in the comments below so that I don't think I'm crazy thinking this. Or maybe I am crazy and I'm the only one that thinks that they're like the Hunger Games. The next thing to talk about is the cleanliness rating, and it's not clean. I mean, I made my edition cleaner by white adding any bad words or about bad words, things like that, all white added in here. The profanity is not very frequent, but when it is used, it is strong language usually. As for inappropriate scenes, from what I can remember, there's one scene in it that is on the, I would say borderline inappropriate. It's not inappropriate, in my opinion. I wish it wasn't in the book. For me, it's awkward to read things like that. Anytime there's kind of any kind of intimacy, nothing happens at all. They're just, on the border of it, things happening. There is, around that, there is things hinted, about them being together. There are people that, in the book that I guess they're prostitutes. They're in the end of the book, there are like prostitutes or whatever in the book. And things are all hinted while nothing is said. While nothing is said out in the open, these things are hinted in it. Except for prostitutes, those are pretty much all. If you do not like bloody, gory books, then do not read this one. It's not too bad, but it is pretty gory and bloody. I mean, come on, she spends most of her life killing people. Wouldn't you think that would be like, you probably expect that, but it is pretty bloody and gory. A main character does die in it. Characters do die in not fun ways. I'll just say that. Overall, I give this book about 3 out of 5 stars because I'm taking away because of the borderline inappropriateness and the profanity, and I'm also taking away from the similarities of the Hunger Games, and I'm taking away just because it's not the most enjoyable book. It was a fast read. I read it in less than 24 hours, but it wasn't something I'm going to be like, oh, I just need to read it again. I need the sequel right away. 3 out of 5 stars for this one. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any more questions about it, feel free to leave a comment below or email me. I'll probably put my email below if I remember. I'll put my email below so that you can contact me there or in the comments below. Don't forget to go follow all my social media pages, Instagram, blog, Goodreads, and subscribe to my channel here so that you can be ready for my next videos. I'm planning on doing some really fun ones later. I might even film them today, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for checking out my video, and I hope to see you next time. Yeah.